Hey, it's a Crypto is Easy update for October 24, 2020. Wanted to get this out to everybody. You should be receiving it whether you are a premium subscriber or on the free plan. I posted a video for premium subscribers earlier this week. I'll send something out probably in the next few days. But this one is you should be getting it regardless of what plan you're on. We've had a lot of excitement in crypto recently, and with Bitcoin zooming and all the news that's been coming out recently, I want to take a moment to remind you what we're playing for. I want to take you back to March, and I'll take you back to March. Let's see. I have this. I want to go back to March, and we all remember this. This was that big crash. Everything crashed. Every market crashed. Bitcoin too, and it crashed like this. This is the price chart. So you see the price back in March. It just crashed like straight down, right? And we all remember that. That was right after I started this newsletter. 3 days actually after it launched, the markets crashed and Bitcoin dropped 50% in like 2 days. And at that time, I published a few videos, some emails to premium subscribers, and I want to read an excerpt from that. This is, let's go, where do I want to be? Okay. So I presented two options. One was just everything implodes and life ends and Bitcoin gets taken down with it. Great Depression, all that stuff. And the other option was a little more realistic because it was based on actual history and the things that people have done in the past and patterns that we've seen in the past and natural human behaviors that we've seen in the past. And this is option 2, which was Bitcoin goes higher relatively soon. And I want to read what I wrote then. Remember, keep in mind, we're in March. Markets have crashed. People are panicking. Everybody's going crazy. I wrote, as a proportion of all holders, those who bought within the past week have almost tripled. Their proportion is now at the highest level since crypto winter, and those holders are not selling when the price dips. At the same time, the percentage of supply in profit has dropped below 50%, which sounds bad, but historically leads to rising prices in the months immediately after. And, contrary to rumors that whales sold out, long-term holders rose as a proportion of all holders over the past few weeks. Not to mention, the forthcoming halving will cull miners, leading to fewer competitors chasing fewer new Bitcoins, resulting in less selling pressure from miners and less circulating supply as quote-unquote strong hands hoard their stash. On top of that, many bullish commentators have flipped negative. Usually, this signals the bottom of the market. Price action and some technical indicators all show similar patterns to when Bitcoin hit its bottom in 2015, before the 2016 to 2017 bull run. Like today, the price crashed down to the 200-week moving average, where it bounced around for a few days, crashed even lower for a day, popped back up, and then danced around the line for a few weeks. Bitcoin has never gone lower since then. And then I had some charts comparing the two time frames. So that the specific situation doesn't apply to today, but the mindset and the mentality is just as vital now as it was back then. Back then the price was going down, now the price is going up. Either way, it's taking a moment, stepping back from the day-to-day, trying not to get too wrapped up in everything that's going on around you and all the noise and the excitement or the terror, and take a step back, look at the big picture, and remember what we're playing for, and remember what the situation, the underlying mechanics of what people do and how that plays out in an investment environment. You have, to understand all those things and to keep all those things in mind. I think I put it as step outside the day-to-day and look at what really matters. And if you thought this past half year was hard, I'm going to take you back. We had this huge crash, and then we started going up, and nobody believed it. Everybody was like, dead cat bounce, oh, Great Depression, oh, this and that, whatever, and we kept going up. And then we stagnated, and people were emailing like, oh, should I sell? Should I sell? Everybody says it's going to crash. Should I sell? And we just kept going up. That was hard for a lot of people. And if that was hard for you, it's only going to get harder. Think about how you felt when prices went down. Whether it's this big crash then, whether it was this smaller crash here, which wasn't even a crash, it was nothing for a market as volatile as Bitcoin. And then look at this one that we just had, which was 22%. Think about how you felt when the prices went down, when they crashed. How hard was it for you to buy? Did you think maybe you needed to sell more and then buy at a lower price? And then think about when the price went up and things really started zooming. And, and even just a few months ago when, DeFi was exploding and everything was really exploding and everything seemed like it was going crazy and just going up. And then everything crashed. Maybe you didn't have enough money to take advantage of it. You probably did. Some people didn't. They had already, put it all in when the price of Bitcoin went up to 12,000 and the altcoins were just, going crazy, 10x, 15x. Or maybe you just decided for whatever reason you weren't going to buy, waiting it out, whatever it was. The swings are only going to get bigger as we move forward in this market. At times, it'll seem like everything you touch goes up. You drop a penny in this one, it ends up being a dime. You drop a dime in this one, it ends up being $1. And it will seem so easy. The money will come so fast. But fast money is hard money. Hard to find, hard to get, hard to keep. Slow money is easy money. So the thing about cryptocurrency is you don't have a lot of people who talk about the slow money. You get a lot of people talking about trading in and out, day traders, hype about what might be going on. If the price goes down, they try to soothe you with, a pep talk or whatever it is. And that's good. That's really useful information. And there are a lot of really good people providing a good service with that kind of content. What they don't tell you is the drops are healthy. You need the drops to clear out the weak hands and people who aren't committed to this asset class. And you look back at the last time Bitcoin went from low to high, and we'll just take it back from right here. Let's see if I can clear this out. All right. So I'm going to take us back right here. This was early 2019, beginning of 2019. And we went from way down here. At the end of 2018, we were down at 3184. In 2019, we were down in 3000s. And what did we do? We went on this amazing run up to 14,000. It doesn't even show on this chart just because of the way the chart is set up. But we went up to 14,000. You probably remember that. We didn't have any stops, no drops, no dips, no sideways movement, and you can't sustain that. And look what happened. We spent, what is this? I don't know. A year? Almost? March to almost a year. Going down. For almost a year. And we ended higher. Now we're in a totally different situation. But trust me, if we shoot up to all-time high from here, with no drops, no crashes, just like we did back here, we're going to get the same result. And it'll feel great in the moment. But then what? You can't sustain these long-lasting, multi-year, massive drives. These moves like this, right? These moves like this. You can't sustain those things on the long run if you don't have the crashes. So if you want that $100,000 Bitcoin, $500,000 Bitcoin, $1 million Bitcoin, that altcoin that goes up, 1,000x, 10,000x, the only way we get there is because we have the drops. Again and again. Up and down. That's what forms the foundation for us to keep going up. Otherwise, you get the boom and zoom, and then another God knows how many years waiting for the market to turn around again. We don't want a quickie. We want a nice, long, satisfying bull market. And that means it's going to be a fight. Up and down, up and down. 2 steps up, 1 step down. For a year, 2 years, 3 years, maybe 4 years. I don't know how long this thing's going to go. But if it's going to last, if it's going to give us those gains that we're looking for, this, in order to get that, we're going to have to go down a lot as we go up. It's the only way we're going to get those 500x games that people dream about, the stuff of legends. So the most important thing right now is keep your wits about you. Prices are going to zoom. And when they're doing that, everybody's going to be looking at this. This is what they're going to look at. And they're going to think that's amazing. And it is. It's exciting. But here's what we need to look for, and here's what we're playing for. They're playing for this, and we are playing for this. And what does that mean from here on out? That means this. But it's not going to go just like that. It's going to go like this. And these are just squiggles on a line. Those are big moves. Could you imagine 20,000 back to 16,000? You lost $4,000 in a day. A few weeks. That's what we have to look forward to. If we're lucky. If this bull market sustains itself, that's what we have to look forward to. So let the day traders worry about the 30% moves. 20%, 30%. Oh, I just made 30% on this trade. We're looking for 30x moves. Not all at once. 5x up, 50% down. Repeat that a few times. Repeat that 3 times. And you're going to finish with a parabolic market peak at the end, and you'll have 78 times your money. And you'll have had 3 times where your crypto has crashed 50% in price. Where the value of your investments have halved 3 times, and you still end up with 78x on your investment. And all you did was nothing. Nothing. You just went about your life. You let the market do the hard work. You focused on the things you cared about. And you didn't worry about it. And if that seems outlandish and absurd to think about, you haven't been paying attention. Now's not the time to sell. Now's the time to be grateful that you're in the market now, way before everybody else. And if you feel like you need to buy, do it. There's no bad time to buy. But when we're up here, when we're, I'll take us back to now. We don't even have to speculate. We'll take it back to what we just had now. What we just did recently, we went up here. We're up at 12,000. A lot of people were really excited. Really, really excited. And that's when people were like, oh, I gotta buy. And that's fine. Because when you look back in a year, 2, 3 years, you're not going to be mad that you bought at 12,000 instead of letting it fall back down to 10,000 or under. It actually went down to 9,800. You'll regret not buying at 12,000 or 10,100 or even back here. 7,800, 5,400, wherever the next crash takes us. But you also need to think about how when everything is going up, how sustainable is that? And when we do crash, maybe that's an opportunity. That's an opportunity. Those are things that I talk about more for premium subscribers, but it's something that I think is really important for the mindset and expectations and making sure you get the most out of what is going to be an amazing bull market. And maybe that seems hard to you. But in my newsletter, I try to make it easy. Now, as far as the altcoin goes, as far as the altcoin market goes, a lot of these altcoins are up 300% since earlier this year. Some of my altcoin recommendations have done even better, even though they've lost some up to 50% of their value in this most recent crash. And just like with Bitcoin, it's all about commitment. So with the altcoins, as long as you're committing to legit projects, and I mean like committing, not playing day trader, taking profits, selling your staking rewards, just sticking with it, believing in these projects and believing in the value of the time and effort you spent and the money you spent acquiring tokens. Remember, they're just tokens. They're not, you don't even own a stake in the business, the entity, or the team, or the network behind it. You own the token that represents whatever value that token represents. It's just a token. But if you're committed, then the swing should not concern you. If you want massive gains, you have to accept massive volatility. It'll take years to sort out winners and losers. And if you try to pick them now, you will almost certainly not succeed. Every week, every month, I learn about a new project that's building or improving on what's been done before. New consensus algorithms, new ways to drive value to their tokens, new ecosystems, new way to think about the ecosystem around these tokens, new problems that are being solved, really interesting discoveries about incentive mechanisms and how these concepts work in the real world. And people think the large cap altcoins are safe, even though their development communities have disintegrated and their platforms have grown stale and stagnant. At the same time, the same people think these small projects, little projects, are risky because they have tiny market caps, and they have the risks reversed. It's just going to take a while for all that to sort itself out. So don't worry about what happened over the last week or last month, or even what happens over the next weeks and months. Have an open mind about new projects. Realize some of these altcoins will fail, even the ones that have lots of investors, money, talent, immaculate designs. They seem like they have everything going for them. This is a speculative market. It's going to take years before we know the winners and the losers. The wonderful thing about today is we can find out who wins and loses without taking much risk. We don't need to worry about fast money because we have an opportunity to make easy money. And maybe, if all goes well, we'll never even have to think about selling. The value of our cryptocurrency will grow so much. It'll give us so much purchasing power. We will never see any signals that we need to sell, that, those signals that have popped up in the past. We'll never see those signals. And then we have this amazing source of wealth that we can use for so many wonderful things. And you're never going to think about taking profits because cryptocurrency will have succeeded and we'll have our stakes in the financial networks of the future. And if you believe that, you don't need to stress about the day-to-day. You don't need to get wound up in FOMO into the $13,000 Bitcoin or the latest altcoin pump. You'll be happy to accumulate more Bitcoin and altcoins when the prices fall. You'll recycle your staking rewards back into the protocols you believe in. And you'll thank your good fortune that others sold those stakes to you. Now is not the time to worry. It's a time to reflect, to be grateful, because as hard as this market is, it can be easy if you want it to be. And that comes from perspective. All of the long-term drivers of value remain strong, and the data points in one direction for crypto prices over the long term: up. Everybody I know on the inside says money from family offices and portfolio managers is coming in by the truckload from all directions. Hodl waves show OGs and whales accumulating Bitcoin like crazy. VCs are inking deals like it's 2017 again. And at the same time, traditional investment assets have lost their yields and gained new risks, making crypto look comparatively more attractive. With so much positive momentum in our favor, we just need to commit to the market. And that should be easy. Prices are low, the upside is high, the technology is developing at a rapid pace. But there's a good chance you're watching this pump and wondering whether to sell now and buy more cheaper. Or maybe you regret not buying more when Bitcoin's price dropped below 10,100. In a market as volatile as crypto, when you look at the big scheme of things, these are trivial amounts. Just wait until we get near the market cycle peak. And if you're still subscribed to Crypto is Easy, your investments will have gone way up. And instead of a $2,000 swing in Bitcoin's price, you'll get a $10,000 swing or more. Your emotions will get stronger as you have more money at risk. It's natural. And you'll see the value of your crypto go up, and the prices go up, and you're going to want to protect those gains. Or maybe greed will hit, and you're going to want to buy every new pump, chase every new altcoin, or whatever else is pumping that week. If you found it hard to handle the move from 9,000 to 12,500 to 10,000 over 3 months, just wait until we go from 90,000 to 125,000 to 100,000 in 3 weeks. Even if what we have to look forward to next after that is another one of these and we keep going up, think about how you'll feel. Have you ever lost $20,000 in a week? Did you find it hard to buy Bitcoin when its price crashed below $10,000? Did you feel anxious when its price started going up again? You might struggle to resist the urge to sell when the market dips, trying to catch a lower price, even though my plan tells you to buy. You might struggle to resist the urge to take profits and sell the quote-unquote local top, even though my plan tells you to wait until we see very specific, time-tested signals that the market's near its peak. And imagine how hard it will be to sell once we do get near the market cycle peak, when everybody else is getting in, feeling great, making fast money, your portfolio may double or triple in a month, maybe even a week, and then, out of nowhere, or seemingly out of nowhere, my plan will tell you to sell just when everybody else is finally on board. Do you have the courage to execute that plan when everybody else tells you you're crazy and it seems like prices will do nothing but go up forever? You'll have to. Otherwise, the OGs, the so-called quote-unquote Bitcoin maximalists, those quote-unquote true believers, they're not really true believers. And those so-called champions like Square and MicroStrategy and PayPal pull the rug out from under your feet. That's why we need to stick to the plan. When the time comes to sell, commit to selling. When the time comes to buy, commit to buying. But it's hard. It's really hard. Because we're going to be buying when it seems like everybody's selling. And we're going to be selling when it seems like everybody's buying. But crypto is hard. Cryptocurrency is a hard market. It's a hard asset to deal in. The swings are crazy. And the level and amount of uncertainty is off the charts. I hope my newsletter makes it easy, at least a little easier. We have so many great things to look forward to. We have all this to look forward to. Maybe even more. All that. And maybe even more. But we'll have bumps along the way. We'll have crashes. 40%, 40%, 40%, 40%, 40%. Crashes. But we're in it together. For good, for bad, for up or down, we're in it together. Relax and enjoy the ride.